Hello, everyone. This is Anne, practitioner and genetic specialist here at Connors Clinic. And this genetic video today is going to be on the NRF2 and KEAP1 pathway. So when we're talking about NRF2 and KEAP1, we are really talking about some important players as far as longevity is concerned. So these are some key genes to overall health and longevity. They really code for survival. Both the NRF2 and KEAP1 gene work together to modulate the antioxidant defense system. And we'll get into details on how that happens. And this is necessary to keep the balance of free radicals from being too overwhelming for the system. And these genes are also important in detoxification. They code for genes that activate detoxification, also important for inflammation balance. And on your genetic report, this is what the NRF2 and KEAP1 genes look like. So obviously, if you have 1s and 2s in the variant column, then you know you have variants on some of these key genes that we're talking about here. And then this metric here is showing you how common it is to have that exact variant that you have. So you can get an idea of how common it is to have those variants. And if you do have variants in either one of these categories, we do want to make sure we are addressing these. So we are activating these as much as possible so we can code for all of the things that are important for longevity. And now we'll kind of start talking about that. So this is basically how it works. I mentioned that KEAP1 and NRF2 gene work as a pair. So they're kind of linked up to each other. And the KEAP1 gene is actually kind of the controller of NRF2. So you can see here, this is the nucleus. So this line here is kind of dividing the interior area as the nucleus, and this is the cytoplasm. So NRF2 and KEAP1 are kind of roaming around in the cytoplasm. They are just, kind of gathering information and sensing things. If they sense oxidative stress, then what happens is KEAP1 and NRF2 kind of uncouple. KEAP1 uncouples from NRF2, which allows NRF2 to become activated, and then it travels into the nucleus of the cell here, where it can bind with sections of our DNA. And by binding to these sections of DNA, it increases expression of certain genes. And these are the genes that we're activating, the genes that are coding for our antioxidant defense system. So glutathione, SOD, catalase, so all of these things that your body can produce to then get to work and try to manage that oxidative stress. So we're managing free radicals, we're reducing inflammation, and again, it's important for detoxification of certain things as well. So that is how it works. They're coupled up, floating around, waiting for any signals of stress. And then once again, if stress is identified, the KEAP1 releases the NRF2 so it can go into the nucleus, bind to sections of DNA, then we have coding to produce these things that help in this whole system that encourages longevity. We don't want anything left unchecked to cause damage within the body. Otherwise, the body's going to break down. We are going to age faster. We're going to have a lot of signs and symptoms of aging and just degeneration of the body. Things like cancer, autoimmune disease, Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, all of these things that we try to ward off, they're really being helped by this NRF2 and KEAP1 pathway. And here is another diagram here. So it's a little small. Hopefully you guys can see that, but this is kind of NRF2 at the center. Here is the KEAP1 gene. So this is indicating KEAP1 is controlling or modulating expression of NRF2. And then when NRF2 is being stimulated or coding for, then all of these arrows, the arrows that are going outward, it's indicating what NRF2 is helping to modulate. So we have NADPH production. This helps This helps with recycling of antioxidants. We have glutathione production and regeneration over here. These are all the genes that code for that. Straight up at the top here, we have glutathione utilization. So these are all different genes involved in glutathione utilization. We have HMOX. So this is involved in iron. So if we have variants in the HMOX gene, we can have heme that's involved with heme breakdown. And if we have variants, we don't break down heme appropriately, and heme can become a free radical then. So it's involved in neutralizing that, the heme free radical. And let's see here, thyrodoxin. So this is another antioxidant that is involved in kind of glutathione production and getting rid of, the potential of hydroxyl free radicals. So NRF2 is doing all of these things. And, here's some genes here. This is one of the BRCA genes. So the BRCA gene is going to stimulate NRF2 production. This gene here is going to stimulate NRF2 as well. So this is kind of a nice little diagram to just see like all of the little touch points that NRF2 and KEAP1 ultimately are involved in, and ways that we can support this if we do have variants. So in this example here, we have a red circle around KEAP1. This is indicating we've got a lot of variants here, and then the NRF2 gene itself is yellow. So we've got some issues here. So we definitely need to support these because with the red here, ultimately KEAP1 is kind of bound more tightly. When you have variants in KEAP1, it's bound more tightly to NRF2. So it's hard for those two to separate and allow the NRF2 to get into the nucleus where it's coding for all of these good things that we've talked about. So definitely don't want variants in these genes. If you do have variants, things that we can do to support these would be regular exercise. Great way to stimulate and support NRF2 and KEAP1 variants. Curcumin or turmeric is very helpful for this. EGCG, which is the active component in green tea, also very helpful for this. Works to reduce inflammation. Broccoli sprouts are something that you can, incorporate into your daily diet. You can throw broccoli sprouts into smoothies. You can top your salads with some broccoli sprouts or vegetables. Put it on, sandwiches, whatever you're doing. Broccoli sprouts are pretty neutral in taste. You don't need a lot of them, but pretty easy to incorporate into your diet, and that has a lot of benefit. Sulforaphane as well. That's the active component in broccoli. Sulforaphane helps to modulate these genes as well. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight into the NRF2 and KEAP1 pathway and why it is important. All right, we will talk again soon. Bye-bye.